Okay, in today's class we are going to discuss about reliability of assembled systems. Okay, you know the meaning of assembled system. If you consider any product, most of the products are made up of n number of components. Okay, finding a component which is having only one component. Okay, for finding a product which is having only one part or one component is difficult. Okay, most of the products are having n number of components and they are assembled. Uh, so that is the meaning of assembled systems. Okay, so reliability of assembled systems means, so when you are finding reliability of a product, then you have to consider the relation between these parts or components. Okay, how they are related. Okay, whether they are related as a series system or whether they are related as a parallel system, that you have to look into while determining reliability of any assembled system. With reference to the contributions that the reliabilities of component units make to the reliability of the overall system, a system can be classified as a series system, a parallel system, and a combined system. Combined system means it includes both components connected in series and components connected in parallel. Okay, that is the meaning of combined system. So we will discuss about this in detail, and we are going to solve a few problems related to this topic. Series system. A series system fails if any one of its components fail. Okay, so that is the meaning of series system. If you consider human body, there are many organs. Okay, you can consider eyes, ears, then heart, kidney, brain. Okay, so you know there are some organs. If they fail, okay, the complete body will fail. That means human being will die. And at the same time, there are some parts in the body, some parts or some organs in the body. If one fail also, we can live. Okay, so which are those organs or parts in the human body? If they fail, the entire system will fail. That means human will die. Which are those organs or parts in our body? ಯಾವುದ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬದುಕಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Okay, heart, brain. Okay, so we have only one. So if the heart is not working, not functioning, then human being will die. Again, if brain is not working, so we consider that as a brain dead. Even if a man live without brain working properly, so then its his survival is not considered as a at all. Okay, so at times you hear the term that brain dead. Okay, so that means if brain is not working, so that is the that will affect the existence of human being itself. Okay, so that means this type of arrangement or this type of connection to a system are considered as series system. That means if all don't function, and even though brain doesn't have any problem, human being cannot survive. Okay, even if brain is not working and if all remaining parts are healthy, okay, so then also human being cannot live. Okay, this type of connection between the parts in a system is called as series system. Okay, whereas you have few more parts. If there is damage for one part, if one part is not working, or if one part is removed also, we can live. Okay, which are the examples for this type of organs in human body? Kidney. Okay, so there are two kidneys. Out of two, if one is not functioning also, we can live, no problem. Then so consider if we have two hands, and if someone okay remove one hand also, you can live. Okay, you can lead a life with only one hand, even with one leg also you can live a life. Okay, this type of parts or this type of components arrangement is called as parallel system. So in parallel systems, if a system has to fail, okay, all the parts of that system has to fail, then only the overall system will fail. Whereas in case of series system, if only one part fail, the entire system is going to get affected or the entire system is going to fail. Okay, so that is the difference between series and parallel. Series alli other one part fail aitu andre entire system fail agutte. Parallel alli so ಎಲ್ಲ parts fail ಆದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ entire system fail ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so that is the difference between parts or components arranged in series and parallel. Okay, a series system fails if any one of its components fails. Okay, consider a two components system such as, this is one of the example, such as the two links operating the two control surfaces like the ailerons in an aeroplane. Okay, so we have seen aeroplane. Okay, so the balancing of the surfaces, that means balancing of this wing system in an aircraft is very important. Okay, if it is not possible to achieve the balance of this system, then obviously aircraft will fall down. Okay, so there are different components which will decide the balance in the aircraft. Among them, aileron is one of the component or one of the system. Okay, so which will ensure balancing between balancing of the aircraft. Okay, when it is in the air. So this is the aileron. Okay, so aileron is one of the part of the balance system in the aircraft. Okay, so there are two ailerons, one on the right side of the wing and another will be on the left side of the wing system. Okay, so this indicated in green color, so this is called as aileron. Okay, so there are two links. Okay, out of these two, if one is not working, then the problem is, suppose if the left one is not working, so then the plane may tilt towards right and it may fall. Similarly, if on the left one is working, another is not working, the plane may tilt towards right or left, then it will fall, it will lose its balance. So that means out of two links of the aileron, if one fails, so then you cannot run the aircraft. Okay, so that means two must work. If one fails also, the entire system will not work. Okay, so this is one example of components in series system. Okay, so both have to work, so that is the meaning. Okay, since failure of any one of these links result in loss of control, flight has to be abandoned in such a case. The reliability of the control system is measured by the probability that neither link fails during the flight time interval. So if you want to find out reliability of this system where parts are connected in series, then you have to consider a condition that so none of its components will fail. What is the probability that all the components are in working condition? Okay, that you have to find out. Since out of 10, if one is not working also, so the entire system is going to get failed. Because of that reason, you are, while finding probability, you have to find probability of a condition where all the parts of a system are in working condition. Okay, if we assume the two links to be independent, the probability of neither link failing is the product of the probability of survival of each link. Okay, directly we will multiply the probabilities of individual parts in case of series system. Okay, so there is a video, later I will share this link. Okay, you can watch and you can understand the working principle or how balancing will be ensured in a aircraft. What are the design considerations, how aileron, flap, okay, and other components will work. Okay, what are the axis of rotation or axis of movement. Okay, how balance will be achieved in a aircraft, that is explained in this video. Later I will share this video, you can watch and you can understand and the importance of ailerons and other control components in a aircraft. Next, if R of x1, suppose consider a system where there are two parts or two components which are connected in series. Okay, this is the symbolic representation of series system. Okay, in this case, so there are two parts which are connected in series. So if R of x1 represents the reliability of link x1, this one, and Rx2 represents reliability of link x2, then reliability of the control system is given by R of x1 and x2 is equal to R of x1 into R of x2. Okay. Suppose if the reliability of any one among these two is 0, then the reliability of the entire system will become 0. Okay. So that's why if the parts are connected in series, every part must be in working condition. Okay, so that is the meaning, and this is symbolic representation, and this is the equation to find reliability of components connected in series. Next, consider there are n components or n parts in a system. If x1, x2, x3 up to xn are the number of units in series with the failure rates given by C1, C2, C3 up to Cn respectively, then reliability of a system made of n units is given by, so that means you have to multiply individual reliabilities. Reliability R represents reliability of the entire system. Rx1 is the reliability of component 1 or part 1. Rx2 is reliability of component or part 2. Like that, you are considering individual reliabilities. If you want to find out overall reliability, so you have to multiply all these individual reliabilities since these are connected in series. Okay, in the previous class we discussed about reliability law and we have discussed about this equation. Okay, reliability will decrease exponentially as the time passes. Okay, that we discussed in the previous class. Based on that, we can have this relation, reliability R is equal to e power minus Ct, where C is the failure rate and T is the time. Okay, and if there are n number of parts, so then you are considering individual failure rates. Okay, so this is for Rx1. So you can write reliability of x1 as e power minus C1t. This is the failure rate for part 1. Similarly, for Rx2 you can write it as e power minus C2t. Like that you can write this equation. Okay. Next, so take minus and C. Okay, T as common. Okay, so then you can write it as C1 plus C2 up to Cn. Then you can write it as again. So R is nothing but R of S. That is the reliability of the entire system. Okay, reliability of the entire system is equal to e power minus. So you are summing all these things. Summing C from 1 to n. Okay, so this is the equation to find reliability of a system in which n number of parts are connected in series. Okay, you have to make use of this equation. Next, parallel system. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, in case of parallel system, a parallel system fails only when all of its components fail. Consider an aero engine with two sets of ignition spark plugs. Since only one set is sufficient for the proper operation of the engine, the system does not fail even if one set malfunctions. Okay, this is one such example. Okay, if you have an additional component, okay, so for emergency use, so that is nothing but that system is designed for by considering parallel series. Okay, so that is the meaning. If one fails, so another part will be used to do the same function. Then the overall system can work without any downtime or without breakdown. Thus, in this case, the probability of failure of the system is the probability that both the sets fail. So this is the symbolic representation. Okay, if there are two parts in a system, x1 and x2, so they are represented like this. So this is the representation of parallel system. Okay, so consider equation. This is the equation for series system, where if there are two components connected in series, then we can write them as P of x1 and x2 is equal to P of x1 into x2 that we discussed earlier. Okay, next, where P refers to probability of failure. Probability of failure is equal to 1 minus probability of survival. Okay, so if you consider the overall probability, that will be equal to 1. Okay, so if you add a probability of failure and probability of survival, that will be equal to 1. Based on that, you can write probability of failure is equal to 1 minus probability of survival. Okay, similarly, you can also write probability of survival is equal to 1 minus probability of failure. Both is possible. Okay, so both you can consider. Okay, for this case, we are considering the condition that probability of failure will be equal to 1 minus probability of survival. And since we are considering this P of x1 and x2 as probability of failure of the entire system, okay, we can write that as 1 minus R system. Okay, the R system means reliability of the system. So based on this equation, probability of failure is equal to 1 minus probability of survival. We are considering this as probability of failure. So that's why we are writing it as 1 minus reliability of the system. Reliability is nothing but probability of survival after its useful life. Okay, probability of survival is nothing but reliability. Okay. Next, here for Px1 also, if it is the probability of failure of part x1, okay, or component x1, then we can write it as 1 minus R of x1, that is probability of survival of x1. Similarly, for Px2, you can write it as 1 minus Rx2. Rx2 is the probability of survival of part x2. Okay, next, if you want to find out reliability of system, then by using this equation, you can write it as R system is equal to 1 minus Rx1 into 1 minus Rx2. This is the equation of reliability of components connected in parallel. Okay, so you have to remember this last equation. So this is applicable when parts or components are connected in parallel. Okay, so R here in this case for parallel system, we consider it as if there are two components like this, R of x1 or OR x2, like that we write. Okay, same equation can be written as R of x1 or x2, that is equal to 1 minus 1 minus R x1 into 1 minus R x2. That you will see in the problems. Okay. Next, combined system. Human body is the example for combined system. Okay, where, as we discussed earlier, some of the organs or some of the systems are arranged in series, whereas some of the systems are arranged in parallel. That means if we have only one hand or one leg, one kidney, okay, even one eye, we can live. Okay, so these are the parts or components of the human body or organs of the human body connected in parallel, whereas organs like heart, okay, so brain, so if they fail, the entire body will fail. So that means, so they are the organs connected in series. Okay, overall, if you consider human body as the entire assembly, it consists of both parts which are connected in series, parts which are connected in parallel. Okay, if you look at engineering products also, there are some parts, okay, so which are connected in series, and there are some parts which are connected in parallel. Okay, if you consider an automobile, Okay, so if engine fails, so you cannot start a bike or a car. So that means that is a series system. Okay, suppose if you consider seats in a car, okay, if there is only one seat for driver, then also you can drive the car. Okay, so like that, there are some components which are connected in parallel, and there are some components which are connected in series. Okay, so combined system means it includes both components connected in series and parallel. Okay, x1 x2 are connected in parallel, whereas this x1 x2 and x3, so these are connected in series. Next problem. Okay, there are numericals related to this topic. Okay, block diagram for the braking system of a bicycle is shown in figure. Okay, so this is the figure or block diagram. Mean time between failures, MTBFs, of various components are as follows. For brake levers, 500 hours. For brake cables, 100 hours. For brake shoes, 20 hours. Calculate the reliability of the overall system for a 2-hour downhill run. Okay, so this is the given data. Okay, so you have to find out reliability of the overall system. Okay. Okay, or you can consider it as MTTF. Okay, MTTF may be confusing. Okay, consider it as MTTF itself. Okay, since we have equation for MTTF. Okay, so this is the braking system. It consists of brake levers, brake cables, and brake shoes. Okay. Next, so they have given the mean time to failure. So that means after using this brake lever for continuously for 500 hours, it will fail. Okay, brake levers will fail after 500 hours, brake cables will fail after 100 hours, and brake shoes will fail after 20 hours of usage. Okay, calculate the reliability of the overall system for a 2-hour downhill run. Okay, in order to find out reliability of entire system, first we have to find out reliability of individual components. So that means by making use of the given data, you have to find out reliability of brake levers, reliability of brake cables, and reliability of brake shoes. Okay, now consider reliability of brake levers. So they have given mean time to failure as 500. Okay, and they have given the time. Okay, calculate the reliability of the overall system for a 2-hour downhill run. Okay, so that means the time t, small t, is 2 hours, whereas MTTF is 500 hour. Okay, now, so how we can find out reliability? Which equation you are going to use for finding reliability? Okay, we have a equation. Reliability is R is equal to e power minus Ct. Okay, so here we know MTTF for A, it is 500. Okay, if MTTF is 500, what is the value of C? What is the relation between MTTF and failure rate C? Okay, that we discussed in the previous class. MTTF is equal to 1 by C. Okay, that is the relationship between MTTF and failure rate. So now, if you know the MTTF, we can find out failure rate by using this relation. MTTF is equal to 1 by C. Then C will be equal to 1 by MTTF. Okay. So here we have to find out C. We know MTTF. MTTF is 500. Then C will be 1 by 500. Okay. Then we know T. T is 2. Okay, by using this, we can find out reliability of brake lever. Okay, so I am using the tree equation. Okay, I have to find out reliability of brake levers. So here, since we have the same brake lever on front wheel and rear wheel, okay, if you find reliability of A, that will be applicable for both A1 and A2. Since components are same, okay, so brake lever on the rear wheel and front wheel both are same. That's why. So if R of A is equal to E of minus CT, so we can write it as 2 by 500. How we are writing it as minus 2 by 500 means C is 1 by MTTF. MTTF is 500 hours. Okay. C is 1 by 500. T is 2. Then you can write it as 2 by 500. You will get this answer. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Next, similarly, you have to find out reliability for brake cables, that is B. Okay, since you have the same brake cable for front wheel and rear wheel, same component, but numbers are 2. Okay, so that's why both will have the same reliability. R of B is equal to e power minus 2 by 100. The reason is MTTF for brake cables is 100 hours, that is given in the problem. Okay, so for brake cables it is 100 hours. So that's why C will be 1 by 100. Then T will be 2. It will become 2 by 100. Okay. So next, similarly, find it for brake shoes. Okay. So brake shoes C1, C2, D1, D2. Okay. All the 4 are the same components. That means R of C is nothing but R of C1, R of C2, R of D1, R of D2. All are same. Okay. Since they are brake shoes. Okay. So R of C is e power minus 2 by 20. Since MTTF for brake shoes is 20 hours, C will be 1 by 20 and T will be 2. It will become 2 by 20. So you will get this answer. Okay. Now you have reliability of individual parts. Okay. So 0.996 is the reliability of A1 and even for A2 also same value. Next, reliability for B1 0.980. Again, reliability for B2 0.980. Okay. Next, for C1, C2, D1, D2, for all 4 same value 0.905. Okay. Next, so you have to find out overall reliability of the system. For finding that, you have to look at the relationship between the components, how components are connected. Okay. So first, what I will do is, so I can find reliability of C1 and C2 connected in parallel. Okay. Then these two will become connected in series. Again, here I can, if I find out for C1, C2, same thing, same value for D1, D2 also. Okay, reliability of the 2 brake shoes in parallel. Okay, I will consider these two, C1 and C2, they are in parallel. So I will make use of the equation, that is reliability of C1 or C2 is equal to 1 minus reliability of C1 into 1 minus reliability of C2. Okay, by using that equation, so I have directly substituted the values. Okay, R of C1 or C2 is equal to 1 minus R of C1, then 1 minus R of C2. So this is based on this equation. Okay, so based on this equation, so I have written this. Okay, so you will get 0.991. This is for the reliability of these two systems. Okay. Next, reliability of any one brake set. So that is either front wheel system or rear wheel system. So you know reliability of C1 and C2. Okay, how C1 and C2 are connected with A1 and B1? So they are connected in series. Okay. So after finding a single value for C1, C2, here you will have a single box. Okay, it will become a single box. Okay, after finding reliability of C1 or C2, next you can consider it as like this, okay, where the value of this one is 0.991. Okay, so you can consider it as C, that means including C1 and C2. Okay, after finding a single value for these two components in parallel, okay, so this will become 0.991 and this will be connected in series. Okay, next, reliability of any one break set is okay, so reliability of A, then B, then C. Okay, that means reliability of A and B and C1 or C2. That means this value. Okay, so that is equal to a reliability of, again these three are in series now. Okay, A1, B1. You have a single value, so that will be connected in series. Okay. So that's why you can multiply all the three and you will get 0.967. So if you find reliability for one break set, that is sufficient. For this set also same, you are going to get the same value since A1 and A2 are same, B1 and B2 are same, C1, C2 and D1, D2, they are the same. Okay. So because of that, for rare wheel set also, it will be same 0.967. Next, how this front wheel and rear wheel are connected, whether they are connected in series or parallel. If you consider front wheel system, that means this is the front wheel system and this is the rear wheel system. Okay, how they are connected? So they are connected in parallel. Okay, so they are connected in parallel. So that's why you should have this equation. Okay, reliability of the overall brake system is 1 minus that is front wheel system, reliability of the front wheel system and reliability of the rear wheel system. 1 minus reliability of front wheel system, that is 0.967 into 1 minus reliability of brake rear wheel system, that is 0.967. So overall reliability of the system is 0.999. It is nothing but almost 100% reliability. Okay. If you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask. Okay, now doubt idre kelbodu. Okay, if you don't have any doubt, I will move on to next problem. Okay, next block diagram for an automobile braking system is shown in figure. The reliabilities are as follows. So here directly they have given the values of reliability, whereas in the previous problem they gave the value of MTTF and they gave the value of time. Okay, by using that you have to find out reliability of individual components or parts of the braking system. But in this problem they have directly given the reliability values. Only thing is you have to find out the reliability of the overall system. Okay. So here you can consider it as either braking system of a car, okay, or any other automobile. Okay, so this consists of a hydraulic system, then handbrake system, then front wheel and rear wheel system. Okay, these are the sub assemblies inside this braking system. Okay, so now we can see how these three parts are connected: brake pedal, master cylinder, hydraulic line. So A1, A2, A3 are connected in series or parallel? Series. Okay, these three are connected in series. If you want to find out reliability of this hydraulic system, how we can find out? Just by multiplying. Okay, reliability of A1 into reliability of A2 into reliability of A3, that will give you the reliability of hydraulic system. Similarly, if you multiply reliability of B1 and reliability of B2, you will get reliability of handbrake system. Next, if you multiply reliability of C1 and reliability of C2, you will get reliability of front wheel system. Similarly, if you multiply reliability of D1, D2, you will get reliability of rear wheel system. Okay. So then, so here you have hydraulic system and brake system. How these two are connected? If you consider hydraulic system and brake system, how they are connected? So they are connected in parallel. So then you have to make use of that equation for parallel connections. Okay, here also front wheel system and rear wheel system are connected in parallel. Okay, so like that you have to find out. So first here I am finding the reliability of the entire hydraulic system. That means A1, A2, A3. The reason why we are considering A1, A2, A3 separately is so they have different values. So here you can observe A1 is having 0.995, whereas A2 0.975, A3 0.972, and these are different components. So one is A1 is brake pedal, A2 is master cylinder, and A3 is hydraulic line. Whereas in the previous problem, A1, A2 both are brake levers, same component. Okay, here B1, B2 both are brake cables, but here A1 is brake pedal, A2 is master cylinder, and A3 is hydraulic line. So that means they are different components and they have different reliability values. Okay, so that's why we have to make use of this equation. Reliability of hydraulic system, that is R of A, is, since they are connected in series, R of A1 and A2 and A3. So that you have to multiply individual reliabilities. So this is the reliability of hydraulic system. Okay, next for B, it is having only two systems. Okay, that is two components, brake lever and mechanical linkage. So that's why B1, B2. For handbrake system, so you'll get this value. Okay, for similarly for front wheel system, it is also having two parts in series. You'll get this value. For rear wheel, okay, since if you look at the values, R of C1 is equal to R of C2 is equal to R of D1, D2. All these values are same. That is given in the problem itself. Okay, so because of that, if you find reliability of C1 and C2, for D1 and D2 also same value. Okay, next you have to find out reliability of A or B. So A is the hydraulic system and B is the handbrake system. So they are connected in parallel. Okay, so A and B, so these are connected in parallel. That's why you have to find out reliability of A and B. Okay, so reliability of A or B, nothing but, so this is the equation for components connected in parallel, 1 minus R of A into 1 minus R of B. We have the value of R of A 0.942, R of B 0.970. Substitute, you will get this answer. Okay, next similarly C or D, so you will get this answer. Next, you have to find out reliability of the overall system. Okay, now you have reliability of this one, reliability of this one, and reliability of this and this. Okay, after that you are finding A and B and C and D. Okay, finally you have only two components in series. Okay. So next, reliability of the overall automobile braking system. So R of A or B and R of C and D. So that will be given by this value. If you multiply these two, so that will give you the overall reliability. Okay. So if you have any doubts regarding this problem, you can ask. Otherwise, I will move on to the next problem. That is the last problem related to this topic. If you have any doubts, you can ask. So next, it is a problem related to combined system. Okay. So previous also, they are also combined systems. So whatever we have discussed for numericals, so all these systems are combined. Some are connected in parallel, some are connected in series. Okay. So this is another example. A system consists of 3 identical components, 2 in parallel, and the third in series. Okay, x1 and x2 are connected in parallel, and x3 is in series with ones in parallel. So these are the ones in parallel. Okay, so and x3 and x1, x2. So these are in series. Okay, each component has 30 parts. Okay, so you can consider these as sub-assemblies. Okay, again these sub-assemblies have 30 parts, each with a failure rate of 0.001 per hour. What is the reliability of the system? For a 10-hour run, assume that all 30 parts inside a component are in series. Okay, so we are assuming all 30 inside the subassembly they are in series. Okay, so we have the reliability equation R is equal to e power minus Ct. Okay, reliability of a component with 30 parts in series for 10-hour duration. So here T is given 10 hour, C, that is the failure rate, that is also given 0.001, but we are multiplying it with 30. The reason is this subassembly consists of 30 parts. Okay, when there are 30 parts in the subassembly, so you have to make use of this relation. Okay, so here if you consider this relation, you have to add the values like this. Okay, so that's why, so we are multiplying it with 30. Okay, next so this is C, this is T, this is 30. The reason is you have to add this 0.001 30 times. Okay, that is nothing but 0.001 into 30. Okay, so you will get the reliability of the subassembly. Okay, next, since all having 30 parts, okay, each component has 30 parts with same failure rate. Okay, so we have same rx2 rx3 same values, then x1 x2 they are connected in parallel, so that's why rx1 rx2, so you'll get 0.93282. Okay, okay, so initially, so after finding x1 and x2, okay, you will have a system like this. You will have only one system, that is you can consider that as x. Okay, and x3. Okay, so here the value of this x is nothing but 0.93282. Okay, so these two connected in parallel will become only one in series. Okay, after finding this value, that is 93282. So next, in next step, so you have to find out 2 in series. That means this x, that is the overall value of x1 x2 in parallel. So that is nothing but, so x. Okay, so you have to multiply this 0.93282 with 0.74081, that is the reliability of x3. So 0.69104 is the overall reliability of the entire system. Okay, next there is another problem. Okay, 10 ballpoint pen refills were tested for their life. The time to running dry, that is refill full khali agada running dry andre. Okay, running dry measured in minutes were 1740, 2000, 1421, like that they are given the values. Compute the mean life and the rate of failure. What is the reliability that a brand new refill will last for 20 hours? Okay, so this is the problem. How will you solve this problem? Okay, I don't solve this problem. I will give it as it is. in the study material. Okay, you think about this problem and try to solve it. We have already solved one problem similar to this one in previous class. Okay, so try to solve on your own.